You know, when you're looking at these Impalas, for 63, the VIN number doesn't give you a whole lot of information, but the cal tag over here, this really provides a lot of information on it. And we're gonna decode it. So you got here style 63, so that's the year 1963, and then you have a 1847 next to that. 1 is for Chevy, 8 means it's original V8 car, and 47 means that's a hardtop coupe. So this is original hardtop coupe. It's a V8 original V8 car. Now these cars did come with different options from the factory, different V8s. Chris, what was the options for the V8s?
Sure. So for the engine options, there was 4 different engine options. You had the inline 6, which was a 230 cubic inch, and that had 140 horses.
So that was grandma's go-getter, go to church, go to the grocery store, come back, and park it in the garage.
Right. Next up was the small block V8. You had the 283 that these also came with. Now, that had 195 horses.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Chasing Classics Season 2. Today we got an exciting car for you today. 1963 Chevy Impala. This one is rare. It's color code combination 927, which is an anniversary gold. They didn't make too many in 63. They were special ordered cars only. Chevy was doing a celebration. So we'll see you when we get there, guys. Do me a favor. If you like this video, hit the like button. Also, during the video, feel free to leave me a comment. What was your favorite part of the video? Also, if you've had any experience with these Impalas, I appreciate you guys checking out our page, following us. We'll see you when we get there. Let's go. All right, so guys, here's where we're at with it. So, car started up for 30 seconds. It sounded very aggressive. To me, it sounded like an upper engine noise. I have this car kind of already sold to a client. It needs to run and drive and move on its own. Because of what it is, they wanted to do a restoration on it. We heard it start and run for 30 seconds. It shut off. To me, it sounded like it was upper engine noise. But the client says he thought it was like that because of cam. I wish we can, actually hear this car run for a little bit. But we put gas, we mess with the carburetor, we cannot get the car started, the battery keeps dying out on us, we have our jump box. So at this point, it's like a nice rare car for my client, but I have to, again, protect his investment, and I can't just buy it without me moving it back and forth, without hearing the engine run, because it's not like we have a ton of room on this car. If we're getting this car at a really good price, then we have room and we just tow it back to our shop and go through it. However, because the margins are so thin on this, our margin's less than 10% on a car like this. I don't think we can take the chance on it. I'm not sure.
Not with the motor.
No, not with the engine the way it is.
Not if it, worst case, you have to rebuild it.
Yeah, which we don't know. I could not hear it run long enough. I was not expecting it to shut off.
Right. If it warmed up and then it,
And which it could be exhaust manifold.
Right.
I would have liked to at least let it move on its own power back and forth.
Right. At least test transmission.
Because now, even with transport, our transport costs go from what we originally planned, and now they're going to double because it's a non-runner. We got to get a truck out here with a winch to winch it up. So it's a lot of variables. So
right,
we're in a tough spot right now. Yeah, so let's see it.
That's back. How you doing? I didn't meet you last time. I'm Chris.
Chris.
Ooh. Yeah. So you sold the other one, the other Impala?
Yes.
Cool.
66.
You putting all the money into this?
Yes.
70 or 69?
69. 69.
What
302 two barrel.
What's you know what the tag says? What originally it is? What's the VIN number? Pull it up.
There's a VIN here.
Is it the same as the fender tag?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Power steering, power, front disc brakes.
F code, yeah. 302.
Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah. Tags over here.
Where'd you find this car at?
Delaware.
Delaware.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you can see the blue coming through right here.
Yep. But that's a little faded. I want to get it back to that color. I think that's a pretty color.
You gonna do complete restoration on it?
Probably not. It's going to be an amateur restoration.
You replacing all this, the inner fenders and all that?
I don't know yet.
All I do is Mustangs all day long, but you wouldn't believe all my clients from California, they want Impalas. That's all.
That's where the other one went. I mean, the guy set it up sight unseen.
Yep.
Took the videos and the pictures and stuff. But
That's where this car will go. I can almost guarantee you it'll go out west.
well, I get the other one right. Talk to you.
All right, sounds good.
Go to my last Impala.
What year is that one?
63. But it's really rough.
How bad?
Really rough.
I'm surprised you didn't mess with this car. You didn't do anything with it.
I did a lot to get it running.
Okay.
When I first got it, it wasn't running. I had to replace the flex plate. They had truck motor mounts on it, so nothing was lining up and starter, and so I did a lot to get it running. But it was just the other one was closer to being done.
What's the story with it? Where it came out of? Where'd you get it from? How'd you acquire it?
Pennsylvania. The gentleman I got it from said he did a lot of work with somebody else, and they were actually had done the sandblast and started this, and he died.
Oh,
But
wow.
he had left it to the guy and couldn't get it running, so he just got rid of it.
So he bought it with the intentions of restoring it, I'm guessing?
That's what he said.
Did all the
Well, I'm
body-
not really sure it was. I think it was in trade for other work that he did.
It's so trade is a big thing. People love to trade. You trade and then you never do anything with it because you feel like you didn't spend the money for it.
No, I just think that he had a young family and he just wanted money for other stuff.
And you know any background about this car besides that? You know?
No, that's as far back as I know. The guy that he was working with was going to make it an SS clone,
Yep.
but I've had it for 2 years now.
What was replaced on it
Pardon?
as far as any of the body panels or anything like that? Unknown.
I don't know.
Okay.
I did not do any of the body. Touch the outside.
If I shut this, it won't lock?
It's push it.
Okay. I just don't want it to lock.
No.
Yeah.
Let's go around back.
Do you know if it was originally a bench?
I assume so.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not an SS.
Yeah, it was.
A bench seat 463 would make it an SS.
Yep.
And this thing had the SS interior.
Cool. How long you been messing with Impalas for? Like how long you been doing the Impala? You said since your son?
My son got a 64 SS years ago. He's 20 now. So I got it was 15 and a half, 4.5 years.
Okay.
I got mine, the black one I got a year after that, and then this will be a year after that one.
Cool. Let's pop open the hood. Do that.
Supposed to be a spring?
Yeah, usually pop up.
Neither of mine have.
So what motor's in it? You said.
400, small block Chevy.
Oh, it's got a 400 in it. What that come out of? Do you know?
I do not. No, I did put, because like I said, this was one I was going to keep because it was automatic and had the bucket seats.
Mhm.
I did put the dual master cylinder on it.
Yep.
No carburetor. Once you pull that off, my son's 64.
Okay. What carburetor is it, Holly?
Yes.
You think it'll fire up?
I can get my jump box.
I have a jump box too. You want to get yours or you want me to get mine?
Grab yours.
Go ahead, Chris. Want to grab it for us?
Get the
Fire
keys?
up? Yep. Yeah, I don't know if we're either gonna do this car, the body, and make it a solid driver,
All right.
or I'm gonna move it on to the next buyer, sell it the way it is. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
You should be able to fire it up. Look at that.
I see the fuel in the fuel filter.
Is it pumping up?
It was
it's
pump
pumping
pumping, yeah.
Okay. So it should be going now.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was pumping.
Hold on a second. Not enough fuel coming in.
No, actually, it looks slow like that when
Yeah.
it runs.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Pull the top up.
Yeah, starter fluid if you got a little bit of gas. I like this car a lot. I think it's a good, solid project for somebody that wants a rare.
Let me get the vid. You want me to dump it?
Yeah, you dump it. I'll get the video in a little bit, not a lot.
I know.
I'll get the video. You.
I know. Are you ready? All right, try it.
Almost. Yeah, let give us a few seconds. So, guys, I really like this car. This is going to be a good project for somebody because it's so rare. It being the 63 with the 927 color code, it's a perfect car to restore. The body panel seems solid. It's had a little body work done before, but I don't see any rot, any rust, anything like that. Real solid car for sure.
so.
Let's just take a look underneath real quick. Yeah, it looks like the floors were done. All of it's solid underneath. There's no rot on it or anything. Frame rail's in really good shape.
I would say this is our typical one we buy. It's
Yeah.
Normally the same condition.
Except this one
Is
is super rare.
Correct.
Which is cool. For sure. I like it a lot.
25.
Last week I just pulled it out of the garage. So.
It's always like that though. You know,
When
if we weren't here,
somebody-
right, if we weren't here, it would just fire up right up easily.
Or if I was smart enough to, warm it up before we got here. But I like to see them cold.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do the same thing when people come for test drives. I like them cold. That way they know what they're getting.
I got the gas.
Oh yeah, you put a lot in.
Yeah, that was too much. I normally have a hole in this, but
Yeah, a little pin. You want me to put my box on it as well, or just leave yours?
that should be enough.
Okay.
Yep. Did you get a video?
Go ahead.
That'd be enough.
Take two. Hold on.
We're three.
Right.
Worst case, we put my truck in there. That's what it last.
All right.
Battery on my truck.
Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead.
Should have just brought a battery.
Yours says the light's on.
It's on. Oh no.
You're definitely on.
Okay.
Should we bring your truck up?
Battery on my trailer.
Okay. Take 4. This one wants to be a little pain to start up for us. We want to verify and make sure it's running and driving. But yeah, so it looks like power steering, manual brakes.
Power steering's not hooked up.
Yeah, it's not hooked up.
I think that's the only accessory on it, right?
That's what it looks like to me.
Button starter.
Fire it up! That's what I like to hear, guys. Hell yeah.
That is a beefy motor. What's clicking like that?
you checking?
I'm just hearing what the noise is. It's got a lot of chatter. I broke it. Hold on. Here. Put a little gas in it. Just a little bit, Chris. Very little.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Oh, a little bit in the back. A little. There, you're good. You're good. Too much. You got water around? You gotta kill it.
Got my jacket.
Oh.
Killed the battery.
Now I'm just wanted to hear that chatter because it sounded like the lifters were making some crazy noise.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was.
Never opened an engine.
It was pretty rough.
I thought that was just the cam.
Uh,
I don't know, honest.
to me, it sounded like upper engine. That's why I was.
I'm trying to find that sweet spot.
Yeah, I want to hear it, see if it quieted down at all. Typically, your cam is going boop, 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 boop. It's not making a tick, 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 tick.
No, normally cams sound different.
Yeah.
It sounds like a clack or a. Yeah.
But what do I know? I just buy cars every day, right?
No, a cam would be like. Yeah, like you said. Woo, 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 woo.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
What is it,
Do
exhaust
you think that's
manifold,
it could be exhaust manifold? You guys think that's some engine noise to be concerned about? Let me know what you guys think. Leave in the comments below. He's gonna go get the car. We're gonna jump start it again. Hear it run. Hopefully, we can get this thing to quiet down a little bit. We want to hear it. I think, to me, it sounds like it's making some upper engine tapping, which sometimes it's exhaust manifold needs to be tightened down. But he says it's can, and that's the noise it makes. What do you think? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think.
I also think this car needs a bigger battery for it.
Yeah, for
A
sure.
lot of power.
For sure.
Cranking amps, for sure.
I say we throw the jump box on it with it, Chris.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, listen, if this Ram does not start it,
All right, try it again. Yeah.
how'd you get the GT started?
Gas. Got gas in it?
That's a good question.
I think it might be out of gas.
Could be out of gas. Yeah, I'm hoping that it starts up and we can actually hear that noise. Because if it's upper engine noise, that's a big problem. I got to take the engine apart and stuff. And it's like at that point, it's not even worth it.
Okay.
I'm being honest with you.
No.
Be straight with you. This car is cool. It's a cool option car because of what it is, because of the color code.
Right.
And that's why we want to do this video, because after we do a deal, I'm going to be talking about it, you know, talking about the whole thing with Chevy and why they did it. But
I'm thinking it's out of gas.
oh, it's not rushing in like crazy. It does have some gas in it.
I was gonna say if there's some there.
There is some there, but it's still it being started like that and dying out.
Right.
True.
To me, it's like it got cut off of fuel.
That means we'll have to suck it back up.
Yep. Well, we'll see. We'll find out in a few seconds.
The automatic starter on it. You laugh. Climb it in and out.
That's true.
I smell it.
That's fine.
First time I've never had it not start.
Of course, it would happen. We're here, right? Like I said. All right, what we'll do. Let me shoot the video what I was gonna do originally, and then I need to make a phone call. I need to call my guy.
Okay.
And see what he says. I need to figure out worst case scenario with this because we heard it run for what 30 seconds, and from my professional opinion, to me it sounded like upper engine noise, which it could be as simple as a manifold leak, exhaust manifold. I mean, it's hard to tell letting it run for 30 seconds and not expecting it to start back up, right?
I agree.
So let me shoot this video. Give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna get on the phone and then we'll go from there. All right, so guys, here's where we're at with it. So car started up for 30 seconds. It sounded very aggressive. To me, it sounded like an upper engine noise. I have this car kind of already sold to a client. It needs to run and drive and move on its own. Because of what it is, they wanted to do a restoration on it. We heard it start and run for 30 seconds, it shut off. To me, it sounded like it was upper engine noise, but the client says he thought it was like that because of cam. I wish we can, actually hear this car run for a little bit, but we put gas, we messed with the carburetor, we cannot get the car started, the battery keeps dying out on us, we have our jump box. So at this point, it's like a nice rare car for my client, but I have to again protect his investment, and I can't just buy it without me moving it back and forth, without hearing the engine run, because it's not like we have a ton of room on this car. If we're getting this car at a really good price, then we have room and we just tow it back to our shop and go through it. However, because the margins are so thin on this, our margin's less than 10% on a car like this. I don't think we can take the chance on it. I'm not sure.
Not with the motor.
No, not with the engine the way it is.
Not if worst case scenario, have to rebuild it.
Yeah, which we don't know. I could not hear it run long enough. I was not expecting it to shut off.
Right. If it warmed up and then it,
And which it could be exhaust manifold.
Right.
I would have liked to at least let it move on its own power back and forth.
Right. At least test transmission.
Because now, even with transport, our transport costs go from what we originally planned,
double.
And now they're going to double because it's a non-runner. We got to get a truck out here with a winch to winch it up. So it's a lot of variables. So
right.
We're in a tough spot right now. So real quick, guys. So we're going to verify. When you're looking at these Impalas, for 63, the VIN number doesn't give you a whole lot of information, but the cal tag over here, this really provides a lot of information on it, and we're gonna decode it. So you got here style 63, so that's the year 1963, and then you have a 1847 next to that. 1 is for Chevy, 8 means it's original V8 car, and 47 means that's a hardtop coupe. So this is original hardtop coupe. It's a V8 original V8 car. Now these cars did come with different options from the factory, different V8s. Chris, what was the options for the V8s?
Sure. So for the engine options, there was 4 different engine options. You had the inline 6, which was a 230 cubic inch, and that had 140 horses.
So that was grandma's go-getter, go to church, go to the grocery store, come back, and park it in the garage.
Right. Next up was the small block V8. You had the 283 that these also came with. Now, that had 195 horses.
That was Dad's way to impress his friends without going to jail and burning rubber. So
right.
Some people love the 283s. I'm not a huge fan, but it is what it is.
Right. And then you had my personal favorite, the 327, which had 2 different horsepower options. If you had the Rochester carburetor, it was 250 horses, and then if you had the Carter carburetor, it had 300 horsepower.
And that engine is overall just a reliable, nice 300 horsepower. They ride great. I love the 327s. And then finally, you had the Behemoth,
the 409. So that had 3 different horsepower specs. First one was 340, and that was 340 because it had a hydraulic cam and it had a single 4-barrel carburetor. And then you had the 400 horsepower in the 409, which was also a single 4-barrel carburetor, and then it had it was a solid lifter cam. And then you had the 425 horsepower, which had 2 4-barrel carburetors. It had 1125 compression, and it had solid lifters.
There you go. So you had a bunch of different options. Guys, leave us a comment. Which option did you like the best? If you could reorder this car, which engine size would you go? I'm assuming most people would go with the big block, but leave a comment down below. Let me know your take. Also on this, you have your trim, which is 811. What is the trim code 811, Chris?
So 811 means it was black interior. It was supposed to be a bench, but I see bucket seats inside the car. So the seats were supposed to be cloth and vinyl. And then finally, the reason why we're here and we're trying to make a deal on this car is it's because it's a 927 paint code. And if you're familiar with the 927 paint code, which was anniversary gold, and that was to celebrate Chevy's 50th year anniversary. However,
in 1963, they were producing their 50th million Chevrolet. Not to be confused with the 50th million GM product, which was done in 1955.
Yeah, the 55 Bel Air sports coupe.
That was also a gold car. So Chevy was doing their commemorative 50th million vehicle. They sent one to each dealer if the dealer ordered it in 63. So they're rare. It's between 300 to 350 cars. Chevy's 50 million production vehicle was
It was a 63 409 with the 425 horsepower, 4-speed SS.
there you go. So this is probably one of 350, and how many are probably left?
I would say maybe 10%, so maybe 30, 35.
30, 40 cars. So this is a perfect candidate to restore. This car you can make real nice. They're not worth crazy numbers like the 409s. If we had documentation that this car was a big block, all we know it was a V8. We don't know. We know the engine's a 400 in it. It's not the original motor.
Right.
So it kind of hurts the value. It would be a great project to restore. We're going to check out the rest of the car, try to make a deal on this car. We did have an agreed price with the owner. We were hoping to buy it. We had it started for 30 seconds. We heard a little bit of engine noise. The car shut off on us, and now it won't start back up. So we don't know what happened in between. So we're going to try to hopefully make a deal on it and get this back to PA. We'll see you guys when we get this deal done. To me, it sounded like it was making a lot of rattling. And what he told me was he thought oil pressure might have dropped in it, and that's why it turned off. It dropped too much. Is it what he said? He said you don't know unless it restarts up.
Right.
He said sound because the cams. He said it's just going to make the same noise that I explained. Cams are not going to make that rattle sound.
No, the cam just makes no.
It just
I was
goes-
explaining the cam as far as that's what I thought the noise was.
Oh yeah, because a cam's not going to make it go like a chatter like that. It's going to be more, you know the way a cam sounds. It's
boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
it's, exactly. It gives it
I didn't hear the chatter.
to me it sounded like a loud chatter.
But you're a professional, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some people say.
More so than I.
Yeah. Which that takes me out of it. Unless we could start it back up, so I can sit here and listen to it. Because it could be it could be the exhaust manifold. It's got a huge leak in it, and you're hearing the lifters through the exhaust manifold. There's no way to know, right? It was really excessively loud to me. And like I said, my margin on it, if my shipping goes double, now my margin is even less. I have less than a 10% margin on this car. It's not a whole lot. Especially when I was here last time, like I already had buyers lined. Like my guys in California want these cars, but I can't misrepresent a car.
No, I fully understand.
Well, let's do this. I'm still interested in it. I'm still a player. I'm in the area a lot. I'm actually after this. I'm going down to where part is that, Virginia?
It's 40 minutes. I think,
40 minutes
south.
from here. I'm going to look at a Camaro.
All right.
I'm going to be in the area today, but I'm also going to be in the area next week. Next week on Thursday, I'm headed down to Bristol, Tennessee. So I got to pass right through this area.
All right.
So if you want to give me a call, if you're able to get it started, I'll stop by next week and then we'll listen to it. And if it doesn't,
Be more consistent.
right, if it doesn't sound as bad and it sounds decent, if it's something that I can sell and make money on and be honest to the next buyer, then we're good. If it's something that's loud and chattery and I think it's engine noise, then I pass on it, and there's no skin off your back.
Sounds fair.
Sound like a deal?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
Sorry
appreciate.
about
No,
this.
it's
It was
cool.
a pleasure meeting you.
And this, like, if it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, during COVID, people were spending stupid amounts of money on anything. And I would have a buyer without a problem. But now people are tightening up a little bit, so I have to make the wisest decisions, and I want to make sure that I'm being able to sell a car at a right price to somebody. I don't want to rip anybody off, and I don't want you to, you know what I'm saying? I just like doing straight business with people.
I understand.
So.
Yeah.
I gotta be a little cautious, that's all. Cool. All right, guys, we're out of here. We couldn't make a deal. Customer definitely understood. We're gonna come back and maybe we still will make a deal. I'm not sure, but as for today, we fight on another day and we have a Camaro to go look at. So we'll go take a look at that. We're about 40 minutes out. We'll go look at the 67 Camaro and see if we can put a deal on that one. Cool.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.